Bit of a delay, but we are underway. Here on Anubis, as a reminder, guys, we're not going to call this home turf for sAw. 4 times played, no wins in the last 3 months. Maybe the player break, Freddy, could have inspired them to practice this map a little bit because it is a bit of a glaring hole in the map pool, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, sure, but then last time these two teams played, it was 13-11 to Sangal. So it's not like it was a complete whitewash, and you know that wasn't that long ago. That was just over a month. But yeah, look, a month of practice in the player break. These are definitely the maps that you will be looking at if you are sAw. And I guess we're gonna be seeing what happens on the pistol round. Doesn't really matter what map we are on. These rounds, anything can happen. And sAw are playing this one quite slowly. The bomb was venturing over towards that A bomb site. They're thinking better of it. And if they head towards this B bomb site, they could be in a bit of trouble as there's currently 4 defenders.
Whew. Those are juicy. MUTiRiS. Answers back with 2. Scoops the bomb. But he heads towards the loaded site. They do have time to reroute here. There is no need to commit. But now that he's thunderfooting, surely Jota can peek out. Yes, he does. That's the bomb drop now in Canals. So, barring some absolute heroics here from Roman. And he pissed around Sangal. Indeed it is.
A very simple pistol round. Sangal, they had the right read. 3 players in connector. And guess what? sAw, they dropped 3 down from middle. So, kind of into the firing range there a little bit. A very simplistic pistol round. sAw, if they'd actually gone towards the A-bomb site, like, maybe they planned. But at the same time, I feel like there was always a plan to go towards B there, as they did have 2 players outside B main for the majority of the round. But sAw, no bomb down, and it's not going to be much fun for them, as they're going to be on full Glocks and a singular deagle on the IGL of MUTiRiS.
Well, we're not expecting much from this round, are we? No nades, no upgraded pistols. And, yeah. Slow burner this round. Which Sangal player surprised you the most with this team's kind of ascent?
Youngster.
Last season?
This guy came absolutely out of nowhere. Like I saw him get signed, and I was like, who is this guy? And I remember I saw his Sangal roster. I was like, God, this is gonna fail. Like, you've got Jota, an FPL star. sAw, I actually quite rate. I really enjoyed him on like MUTiRiS and Anonymous. But youngster, yeah, literally out of nowhere. And I think what surprised me the most about Sangal is the pure and utter consistency from pretty much everyone. Like, they won, obviously, Challenger, and I think everyone was around the same mark when you look at statistics. And they also won another tournament, the Res Regional. And again, apart from Jota actually playing very well in that tournament, it was very consistent around the board. And I think Youngster's someone who, he's been very vocal on Twitter about, like, you know, it's a very quick come up for him, and he's very happy to be here. And I really like his energy as well.
Long may it continue. We do enjoy this Sangal squad. And they're bringing the heat in this round. Look at this. 2 players pushing out of dark. sAw, X-Floud in tow. They get aggressive through A as well. So a lot of control. But sAw quite content, aren't they? Just to sit back, bide their time. We take a little bit later. Jonathan's just going to swing. X-Floud gets a duel as well. Wow. sAw didn't bargain for that.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, they had their positions they were holding, and it seems like Sangal just had a timing where there's like, okay, we're gonna do this then, and it completely catches sAw off guard, and one by one, they are falling like flies. See a little bit of the Danish influence there on sAw, you know, sit back, play a default, play slow. That's Berry, maybe speaking to them. But right now, look, you got Jerks and Story. That is a nice pick in mid from Story, but there's two players on the same bomb site. And with Jerks smoked off, there's not really much they can do. Like Story, they're just going to be focusing on him, and that's flawless for Sangal pretty much in the first gun round.
It's looking good.
It's looking very good.
Very good. I'm not really sure what happened there for sAw, because they give all the turf, but then walk into one on Jules with, you know, no utils to... Shouldn't we be kind of smoking off dark and then going in with some flashes? I was a little bit surprised Sangal could even get good fights.
It did feel very, like, lackluster a little bit there for a second. Like, it all fell apart quite quickly. For sAw, like, Sangal, they also just, in their like, favor, they did just hit these really nice instant shots. But now, let's turn our attention towards the B-bomb site, where Jota, all by himself, has got some support. But does he actually need that support? 4 kills for him. He's done everything in this round. He's currently sitting already on double-digit kills. And with the bomb down, and with quick rotations from xFloud and LNZ, MUTiRiS, it's actually the right play. Move towards CT, but Sangal, as soon as they clear out this space here, they're going to have a very clear idea that MUTiRiS probably has ventured in towards CT. And now we've got to play this together.
We should have time to plant. Sangal. Need to body up xFloud. Should wait for his teammate. Here we go. MUTiRiS commits close. First fight! Can't connect. Even so, he always would have got traded in that spot. So well played by Sangal. That is 4 on the board. Even saving a bit of time. So that Mr. xFloud can run off and maybe scoop an AWP. Can't find one though. Just the AKs.
Yeah.
And the util.
Don't think there was any AWP sport.
Unlucky.
I think Sammy had like 8 grand. Didn't buy an AWP, so I assume we're gonna see him pick it up now. Well done by Sangal, but also not. Like, look, that was a Tech 9 round, and the only reason that was probably won was because Jota got a 4K on the bomb sites. If that wasn't the case, then I think sAw probably would have overrun B with the Tech 9s and might have succeeded. So if I'm sAw, you got to understand that there is success in that round. Sure, you didn't win it, but bomb down, 3 kills. You're keeping Sangal on their feet. But Sangal seem to not really care, as they're getting quite aggressive around water canals with 2 players peeking in dark. Jota needs to be very careful. Caught on the reload. Players have walked through this lurk smoke. Jota identifies the first, but there's still one more close. Roman playing around will finally be victorious, but that's when Youngster can initiate himself. Both players from dark can try and succeed, but the bomb's being planted. What? He's got really no support, because Sammy on the AWP has just been able to run up with the AWP and get 2.
This is looking a little bit sketch, is the word I'm going to use, for sAw at the moment. We know it's safe to say it's not the most comfortable map, is it? Anubis, but I mean, just look at the frag count. They're not in this game at the moment. They have no answer for Jota. Sammy there gets to run around without reprisal. And I'm not surprised to see a pause, man, because they really need a discussion, don't they, of what are we going to change? Did they actually buy here? I mean, it's right on the brink. Yeah, this map is slipping away very quickly at the moment.
That round felt very rushed. Like, the bomb did not need to go down then. It felt like they weren't really ready for the bomb plant. sAw does get very aggressive though, and that is a bit bold. But yeah, sAw, if I like that lurk smoke, and I like that 2 players are able to edge their way out, but where were the rest of the teammates? Like, there was a lot of moving pieces, but not really in much of a cohesive manner. Maybe a bit rusty, as we are very close, as we just have come out of that player break. Sangal, definitely not rusty. They literally just finished the best of 3. sAw, they did do very well against Sinners in this tournament, and Sangal equally very well against Rush B. But Sangal, not out of it just yet. Purchase for sAw, and xFloud caught on the reload. That's a big opening kill for sAw. And these smokes, they're blocking LNZ and sAw out, but Rostos overextends without his teammates, allowing sAw to put it back into this 4 versus 4. And now here come the rotations. Youngster and alongside Jota, they're being very acute at clearing everything out before they make their way to the site. In the meantime, sA's hitting everything. Finally brought down. And Jota, ooh, this flank, it's a bit late. But I think the timing of it is going to work out in his favor. What they got to do, though, is not die over in CT. And because they've died, you can see MUTiRiS has a little bit more freedom to check behind him. Jota, he's made this massive flank, but for what? Everyone around him's fallen, and it's Roman who's collected a quad kill.
Very round for him. sAw was so intent on not sitting back there. They really want to just keep fighting. Pressing the issue, obviously, Roman wins the duels. 2 that went in before him fell to the AWP, so should be thanking their lucky stars that Roman was on point. Right. Well, sAw on the board. That's what we like to see. I'm not sure they'll get away with the same opener again. See, Sangal's also changed it up. Look at this. Double AWP. xFloud is now on the second on A, so there'll be no chance to contact him for control. He can punish that. sAw not out of the woods yet. Definitely not now.
Yeah, sAw seemingly is very confident. In the last 3 rounds, he's been very assertive with his AWP, and for good reasons. Like, he has been hitting some nice shots. xFloud, this time won't be caught on a reload. He's got the AWP out. He's holding this lurk smoke from sAw. You can see he's quite tentative of what could be behind. He's wise to do so, as they are there. That Molotov, will they have heard the tick? That is the question. Great.
I think Jota's already ended this round, hasn't he? Look at him.
That smoke is fantastic. Oh, wait, look at Jota. Wait, what? Oh,
yeah, that's what I meant, the flank.
Oh my
He
god,
pushed,
yeah.
I believe he pushed through B the whole long way around. He got in towards T-spawn and sAw just absolutely sandwiched. This is a deflating round, isn't it? One on the board, and then seemingly never a look in. sAw opens it. Jota with a killer flank. Ooh, this is ugly. This is ugly. And I haven't got my beer goggles on.
Yeah, this round, I don't know, like, it never had anything to it. Sangal, and even then, like, look, Story missing quite a sitter. Sure, the round was over anyways, but I think there's just more the precedent of, like, you gotta be hitting those shots for your confidence more than anything. And yeah, like, sAw, they were waiting. It felt like they were waiting for Sangal to make a mistake and walk into Story's crosshair. Story was tuned in to that angle with AWP at A main. And yeah, like, Jota's on this massive flank, but also, look, Sangal do really good to not overextend on A, to continuously block sAw off and not allow them any leeway. Forces them trapped in this cage, and yeah, Sangal 6-1. On the senior side of Ancient, that's a worrying scoreline. That's also a worrying Molotov youngster.
sAw need an opening kill. Or at least a lot of map control before seeding it. Check out Sangal, though. They lose mid. So they use their B numbers to get aggressive, get some space. Jota here on the move. Grabbing information, telling his teammates, guys, I can't see anything. Head spotted. Ugh. Moves up and around. Roman gone. And the cavalry's here to help bolster up A in mid. I'm panicking. I'm panicking for sAw.
Yep, it's only getting worse. In middle, they just can't break through. Maybe this is the answer. Nope, never mind. X-Flout hit a banger with the AWP. And they go, oh, the AWP's just shot. Never mind, there's a second one there. Sangal 7-1. And in just very dominant fashion.
This doesn't feel good. This doesn't feel good. Another pause. It's not going to be a buy to follow this. Best case scenario is just a half buy for sAw. Yeah. I mean, credit, of course, to Sangal. They're playing some great Counter-Strike. It's been dynamic. It's been aggressive. I'm not convinced they've met the most resistance, though. sAw are not in this game at the moment, are they?
Literally, apart from that one round where Roman... Literally, like, apart from that one round where Roman got a 4K, it's been disjointed, and it's been Sangal all over it. Jota, sAw, X-Floud, they've been having a very good game. Especially Jota and sAw. And I don't know. It comes to a point where 8-1 is on the cards. You win that next gun round to Sangal, that's pretty much the game over. And look, well, Jota and X-Floud, they're running through a main. Like, there wasn't even that much utility. It's literally just the fact that X-Floud hit a really nice spray transfer, and then sAw's even there as well. There's so many layers of this defense, and sure, it's against Tech 9s, but they barely even take any damage.
Well, presumably in their pause, they were discussing this gun round. So let's see what sAw have in store for us. Okay. Alright. For now, pretty standard default. Out of the norm. A bit of aggression, though, towards A. Speeding their way in. Flashbang is golden. Lose one elsewhere. That's in mid. Well, with all this pressure onto A, Sangal going to be forced to move. The chance here for sAw, they're making Sangal uncomfortable for the first time in a while.
They're making them uncomfortable, but the fact they've got that kill in mid allows them to completely focus towards A, and that's exactly what LNZ does. He adds 2 more to his tally. 3 in the round. And as soon as sAw made Sangal uncomfortable, those 2 first attackers, as soon as they died, that was it. That's the round over. They had no one else with them. Roman was lurking. Story was too far away. And the AWP's going to go and have to save, it seems. But can he even save? Because look at Youngster. He's here in all of this. And Youngster eliminates. The Swede puts Sangal 2-9.
Oh, it's getting deflating.
How's that prediction going?
Badly. I mean, I always would have taken them to lose Anubis, but...
Not like this, right?
Yeah, give us a map. Give us a map. It's also, you know, obviously we posed the question of sAw saying, you know, is there a route to progressing further up the rankings? Can they win in a tournament like this and get back into Pro League? To do that, you can't have a big hole in your map pool. And part of me had hoped Anubis was looking a little bit better than this.
Well, it's got worse, it seems. Like, it was 13-11 last time, just before the player break. Now it's 9-1, and it's not even like it's the T side for Sangal. It's their CT side that's doing so well, which, in my case, actually makes it a little bit more alarming. But this round has some legs to it. Look at this. X-Floud, trapped. He's between a rock and a hard place. Very awkward timing, but there goes the A main attack. He now has room to retreat. He's going to stand and fight. Fight he does, but only for 1 extra. So 3 versus 3. Bombs being planted, an AWP can be picked up, and sAw, he's just so aggressive, isn't he? He just doesn't seem to care. Everyone's aggressive, with Youngster clearing middle, and Jota taking the fight directly to them. They already reached double digits.
It's been magnificent. Jota is a monster. An absolute monster at the moment. He was a huge component of their run to the win on the previous season. It was him and xCloud for me that were, you know, really spearheading this team in an individual department. Well, I dare say this map already feels over, but let's see if sAw can at least extend it. You don't want to go into your map pick with only a smattering of rounds won when you started T-side Anubis. You just feel demoralized.
Very demoralized, especially Yotta. I mentioned him in that Res Regional tournament they won. Like, he was the main man. He was above everybody else. And just being so consistent across, if we add Res and Challenger, it's almost 50 maps. So that consistency with like a 1.10 rating plus is quite phenomenal. And right here, he's stat padding against sAw. And right now, Portuguese squad backstabbed. The Turkish duo unrelenting 11-1. Let's see how long sAw can survive in the second half.
Well, blinking, you would have missed that first half. We started delayed. You wouldn't know it by the end. Sangal need 2 rounds. This is one of their favorite maps. It's definitely not sAw's favorite map. And this map is almost over. How much longer will we be here?
It's even more damning as well, the fact that Sangal now go onto the T side, the favored side. popping on towards the B bomb site. There are 3 players here, and they're actually holding on pretty good for now. Good damage, good kills, winning out the trades. Oh, they've just killed each other. Oh my god, they've lost the round. They've lost the bomb site because Stories just shot UJerks in the back of the head and then imminently being killed afterwards. Never mind, a Rostos saves the day because they try to go and play post plants in B main, and he's there with dual Berettas and kills 3. What a bizarre round we've just seen.
I didn't like that.
Neither.
And that was Well, it's a round for sAw. It's officially going twice as well as it was. That is the good news. The bad news, we still need to win 9 to draw even. We need to win 10 to make it to overtime, and 11 to inconceivably win the map. All of those, of course, potentially relying on Sangal not finding much. It's going to be a 4 spy here. So, what have you got for a sAw? Can you keep this going?
Seems like what have you got for us to Rojdos? Those dual Berettas in the pistol rounds are a lot of work. Because of that, he's got a full belt of utility and a M4A4. A strong weapon, but most importantly, that smoke is going to block Sangal off from progressing into this bomb site. Or do they just want to go straight through it? It seems like they will. Good nade, a lot of damage. Now support as well. You can see MUTiRiS has come to join him, and Rostos is shooting fish in a barrel. A good double, but these SMGs, they're closing down the gap, and they're getting a lot of damage. Jota left in a 1 versus 2. Everyone right now is on an SMG, even playing field, and Jota, he just hit 20 frags and also put it into a 1 versus 1. He knows Story is behind that box. You can see the nerves maybe. Shooting the wall, peeks in, and Story saves the day. That SMG has done a lot of work on his shoulders.
Scripted a bit like a Disney film at the moment. With sAw holding onto that cliff by the fingernails.
Most literally, yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I have news that Disney films are not an accurate representation of reality. I mean, I've seen Dumbo and it all checks out, but the other films, not so much. This recovery, whilst it's got some legs at the moment, I'm not buying it just yet.
Ooh, the fact that he gets 1 there is quite impressive. He went to aim for the boost, and as he did that, MUTiRiS come through Youngster and Xfloud. UJerks, big play here. LNZ. Whoever wins this duel, I think, wins the round potentially, and it's going to be LNC. Now they can identify that the B bomb site's clear. Sangal, if they leave middle and drop through connector, they win it all. But instead, you know what? They're just going to fight everyone in front of them and succeed. Youngster, on only 12 HP, has got the winning kill. So are not in a position to defend against that B bomb site. They banked a lot on the fact that UJerks had taken space towards canals, had cleared the whole site out, and therefore it was going to be an A offensive. They couldn't be any more wrong. And as Story has brought an AWP up into this round, you'd hope he'd be saving.
Needs to. At the moment, he's running straight towards LNZ, so not a given. Rostos at the moment, unchallenged. Well, this Disney film is starting a bit like Bambi.
Yeah. Rostos goes bye-bye here.
Okay, well. Okay, it's going to be 12 for Sangal. 4 spy comes very good for them. Good round for Youngster. Obviously, LNZ here for the cleanup. And now 9 chances to put to bed this map.
I quite like those odds, personally. Especially when Ujerks, who's been playing very well for sAw, is on 2 kills. Story, our Kadia player to watch, is on 8. And a Rosdoz on 9, who's equally been a big factor for sAw in their recent come-up. Quite honestly, no one's doing very well for the Portuguese side right now. Berry's going to have some very stiff and stern words for them in the break, I can imagine. And Sangal, who have just come off the back of a, triple overtime against Bates in a full 3-mapper best of 3. They seem to be on fire currently, but how long can they go for? It seems like Anubis, who won't have to think about that any further, as a Rosdoz, the first player to fall, X-Flowered. That Turkish duo right now are on smoke.
It's going to take a miracle. Story's the only player on the A side of the map. Looks to me like Sangal are gearing for an A split 2. He's got to find frags. He's got to find numbers. First collected. Samey doesn't feel like swinging for the trade. He knows he's alone. There's a push through dark. Meanwhile, in towards canals. Let's see if this split can really get into the meat of it before he's caught. It's a good kill from Roman. That site is now taken. Ujerks can't win his duel. MUTiRiS comes in for the trade, does find it. But information given away. Runs away just the wrong time. Roman is popping heads. Third collected. What a round from this young man. sAw stay alive.
Roman has been pretty much the only reason why sAw at 4 rounds. Look, he's got 3 kills here, won the round for them. And their first round was because Roman got a quad kill. Every single time sAw have won, it's because someone has got a multi-frag. You don't see a round where there's much cohesion and, you know, there's like a good default where everyone chimes in. It's because one player pops off, and that can only take you so far. Story's AWP back in his hands. That's a big piece of a puzzle for sAw. And also, they've got a much better buy now. They've got rifles. They're not on those deagles. And Sangal, a lot of chances. A lot of chance and a lot of time to play with. They want to end it right now. It's not a full investment. Not everybody's put everything into this round, but they still do have 3 AKs, a Mac 10 and a Tech 9, and they're already poising outside B.
Flash is ineffective, but doesn't matter. Opener found. Now Sangal can streak onto this site. Roman, hero of the previous. Way too much to do this time. Bomb though, not yet crossed. Smoke though, buy some space. Molly is also incredibly deep, so all the default plants are still available. sAw want to fight. Not going to be though, is it? Just Story remaining. How on earth does he collect this many players? And he cannot. Map for Sangal, 13-4. But it's there to say, man, doesn't get any cleaner than that.
There was never a stage in that map that I was even remotely worried for Sangal. They were just lounging. That was an easy affair for them. Definitely helped when Jota exceeds 20 frags, and as I mentioned, that Turkish duo were playing very well. Save that run-in challenger. So yeah, look, like they ended last season on a massive high, winning Res, winning ESL challenger, and they've started this season winning every single game. They're looking pretty good right now.
They are. They certainly are. My prediction isn't looking brilliant at the current moment in time, having taken sAw to win this one. So, for that sake and that sake alone, I need sAw to win this. I yearn for them to win this because I can't possibly be wrong.
You also just can't have me being right 2 days in a row.
That would be even worse. I mean, I can be wrong, but you can't be right.
Also, seeing the fact that I picked 0 Senaz, I picked the underdogs in both of them. They both might be correct. Playing devil's advocate might be in my favor. But right now, sAw, a very disjointed pistol round. You've got 2 players down on the B-bomb site, one still in at red box, and one in door. But up goes Vent. There's the bomb. LNZ's just like, wait, what's going on? Like, why have I got people running at me from vent? But there's Jota with the dual Berettas. He is here to put an end to everything. Unfortunately for him, Roman's having a pretty decent start. And sAw, this is around the world. Loop-de-loop. Up the vent, down the vents. xCloud, though, could deny the bomb. No. Can he even get the kill? Yes. MUTiRiS. 50 HP. Over in single door, xCloud. Does he clear his corners? No, MUTiRiS misses his chance. xCloud, how have you been able to get away from that? And indeed.
This is one of those rounds where, in my therapist sessions, they say, "So, Alan, explain how it happened." And it's like, I can't. There are no words. I need a whiteboard the size of a football pitch to draw out the diagram here of what just happened. That's in a different dimension. That is not human. What we just seen. It didn't make any sense from start to finish. I don't know how Sangal have won it, but they have, and that's all that matters.
It's just like, what was the game plan there for sAw? Like, was that actually the game plan to like go up the vent, and then I guess they went down? I don't even know, man. Like, I don't even know what the game plan was there, and it almost worked, that's the thing. But now Jota can't get a multi-frag once again. Spam through the smoke, and support and aid is a little bit further away due to him being very aggressed and dying very early. There was a nice grenade, so it has chipped down specifically Story to under 50 HP. LNZ, oh, door open. I'm not sure he anticipated that, and he still goes to the fight regardless. Now, look, everyone's here to help him, so he's fallen back temporarily, joining up forces. Youngster still towards ramp. And now, here comes the execution of the Portuguese players. Sangal storming their way forward on this retake. More than happy to allow for the bomb to go down. More than happy to wait a second. Because look how clean this is. MUTiRiS unable to win the 1v1 in the previous. Now, a 1 versus 4, which I do not have my money on him. And xCloud, pretty good start so far for him.
Certainly, I mean, this round, a little bit more in the realms of sanity. Good cleanup from Sangal. Yeah. Looking at sAw and wondering whether they're actually enticed here to buy again. Certainly, before the plant money change, they absolutely would have, and they will. But it's going to be Galil's. There's no AKs because of that change. Util is pretty good, actually. Jux has gone onto a Mac 10 to ensure that. Okay, so they can throw a wall of smokes if they desire. I don't need to, or Nuke don't need to, at least feign full of rotation, even if you're not going that direction. Here comes said smokes. We can see it's really going to be ramp.
And Jota's very ready for this. Good opening kill. Aided by his early grenade. And he's just going for more. They can't seem to kill him. This time he finally multi-frags. Ooh, caught off guard, but a dink on a Rojdos. He's definitely done his job there. He stayed alive for a significant amount of time. Has also got 2 kills and damage. Sangal, though, their reaction isn't entirely what I would have expected. They're not convinced it is going to be a B play. The only player in the realm of that bomb site is LNZ, and he's like holding vents. Sangal seemingly are not moving in a way towards to protect this.
sAw, they were taking a lot of time, though, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost the element where they're a bit stunned themselves. They're like, hang on a minute. We haven't met any resistance. Is there a player behind? Do we need to worry about ramp?
That's
so they do allow time. Where we got xCloud's come down secret to help. He catches Story. Oh, make it 2. He is a crisp boy today. Look at that. Assassination from xCloud. He might fall, but now that's the information. 10 HP for Mr. Sweet Rice. And he does not last long. Free for Sangal.
Sorry, did you see where Story planted? Just out in front of double doors while open. And there was no one, like, specifically there to help. Like, there was no one holding. Like, if someone swung, the bomb would have died. 100%.
I guess they came from the...
Yeah.
Not saying it was ideal.
Yeah, I get your point. But they also try to take double and then play a post plant there. But unfortunately, like, it's not even the fact that they got overrun by players. It was simply just xCloud got a double. The one issue I do see with Sangal is that has been youngster xCloud Jota. LNZ and Sammy literally haven't got a kill just yet. Speaking of LNZ, this could be his opportunity. They're going to be coming straight to him. Even though it's for a smoke, even though he might be blind, he has doubled down. These MAC-10s... Wait, what? Sammy just got a frag while jumping out of heaven. He is great up close and personal, but finally the Tech-9 gets the better of him. And even though LNZ got his first 2 kills of the whole game, it might all be in vain. Jota, a dink, but ultimately a miss. xFloud. Somehow this round has gone from basically, what, a 5 versus 3, 4 versus 2, to now xFloud needing to clutch up.
I need to advance my therapist session. To what I've just experienced. Alex Flood now to save the day. MUTiRiS is ever so low. He clears story. I can see this happening. Finds the kill. Not quite sure where to look. MUTiRiS starts taking out. Oh, an 8 out in hand. MUTiRiS wins it. He is bold. Knows he wants a fight with his low HP, and he wins it. sAw on the board. And I was not expecting... I mean, after LNZ found those early kills, the round pretty much looks over.
I think to even further that point, it's like, look, Sammy simpled a MAC-10 on the bomb site. Like, it was like a 5 versus 2, 4 versus 2 type realm. And those 2 players weren't even near the site. Like, they were the ones throwing the utility that were out in lobby and on T-roof, etc. And I think Sangal know that as well. Like, I can't exactly put my finger on what went wrong. It did feel a little bit like MUTiRiS' Tech-9 ended up just connecting a lot of headshots. But even in that 2 versus 2, it was played quite, I guess, individualistically. Like, you had Jota and xFloud together, and I think it was Jota, right, that peaked first into the AWP, and it just left xFloud in a state of like, what do I really do here? And I'm not a fan of him pulling out utility in that 1 versus 1. I feel like that's kind of the cardinal sin of a clutch of, like, just keep your gun out. And I'm not sure he had the information that Mute was low, but if he did, then that makes my point even stronger.
This man keeps going. Number 6 for MUTiRiS. xFloud dispatched, and now we're looking at Sangal saying, how do you adjust? They've given ramp. Sammy's dropped in towards, he's by the double doors at the moment, but he could walk up. Of course, Sangal have to take a risk. Got to do something on this. Man deficit. Jota's fallen all the way into CT spawn. Interesting. Guess he can hold heaven from back there, but he can't help his teammates. That's the fear. Util down. Just saw a prime to wrap this out of position. Jota's the only player nearby. You can see actually they're boosting LNZ back into heaven. So if he can get back into heaven and double peek with Jota, that could work. But now this man is spotted. Oh, I don't like this. He's way out in the open. I don't think that was ever going to work.
Yeah, that was an awkward sequence from Jota. I think, honestly, just not moving might have been the best play. Sammy and Youngster now. This round's going to leave a bitter taste in their mouth. Youngster, unless he can... Like, this would be crazy. An MP9 already down to 11 HP. Being wrapped as well from behind. Seemingly unaware. Even though Rumen does make noise, Youngster cannot react in time. Sammy forced to make that lonely walk away to save. Unless he's sending... If he doesn't... I think you gotta really push that therapy session up.
He's saving. We're okay. It's all okay. That's what they tell me to say.
It's all good.
Scared.
Breathe.
It's okay.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Does he die in vent? Okay, he's moved
I don't think
towards
so. Well, especially not now. He would have died, I think, if he stayed right in the vent proper. Not anymore. That's an important round as well, I guess, because now saw A establishing their economy and B deading That of Sangal. Surely an eco around the saved orb. There's two youngsters. Somebody's dropped out.
Oh, that's never a
Samey.
good thing. Assume we're going to see a round reset as well to get the orb back in his hands. It's a big save with the orb. It can really just turn us, like a single AWP like that can turn a round completely on its head. The question is, can he get that early contact? Can he get in early and succeed? Unfortunately, he's not going to have the most support around him, which is going to be like USPs pretty much.
Yeah, truly absent on the server at the moment, so...
Yeah, he's not even there to support himself. There's actually a world that I'd like Samey to try and actively save that AWP to like another round, because he's not going to have the AWP for the next gun round.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't think it's definitely not worth going uber aggressive, is it? I mean,
No.
pushing hot or something would be a bit nuts.
Sounds like
The
a
other thing
meat
is,
play.
obviously, sAw know it's in play, so they shouldn't be taking any risks. Usually, util play as a team, they should be reading the money and knowing that there's not a lot around it either. So yeah, sAw should have it under wraps. We hope for Samey's return so that we can get going. What's going on with the the A stream game at the moment? Is that one on map 2 yet?
It won't be on map 2 just yet. Oh, it's in overtime.
It's still on map 1, 13
Still map 1. But there must have been some sort of delay, because I checked just before we went live for our cam segment and it was like 11:11. So I would assume there's also been a tech delay somewhere in there. But no, 3D Max, unfortunately, also not quite the team they were, I think, last season. They're still in the top 30, but I haven't been... I don't know, like... They had a really good end to last season, to be fair. Like, qualifying for ESL Pro League Season 20, so they've already got that Pro League spot over Sinners and a few other big teams. And they've qualified for that LAN in India. So, you know what?
Do they have the Pro League spot? Am I missing something? Is it because Movistar Koi already had one?
No, they beat... The ESL Pro League Season 20 European Closed Qualifier.
Oh, okay, right.
They qualified.
Yeah, I was gonna say they didn't get it through Challenger League.
Yeah, no, they qualified through that because of Challenger League. So actually, 30 Max are playing very well. It was just that result against TSM really threw me off. Like, they got obliterated by TSM.
I think it happens.
Not great.
I think it happens. I mean, it was obviously the great unknown is we just don't know what's going on in these teams behind the scenes. And, I'd say always take the first few games off a player break with a pinch of salt. Also, it pays as well to use the eye test sometimes. It's just like, this doesn't make a lot of sense. They just might be out of practice right now.
Yeah, I saw they got Ninja Defuse as well. That was humbling, I think.
I've seen some Counter-Strike in the last 3 days. That's all I'm going to say.
I watched ITV this morning. That was something. They've gone down there. Wait, this plays into the AWP. The AWP's solo ramp. But, yeah, see, the AWP's dropped the bomb. Wait, if a USP can get 1 kill, there it is. Oh, MUTiRiS, that's a massive frag. If MUTiRiS had died there, I'm saying 100% Sangal win the round. But because MUTiRiS gets that 1 kill, and yikes, that's unfortunate for MXCloud.
Wow. I almost feel like sAw deserved to lose this round. That was funky.
That was an interesting play. I can understand against the Eco, you're not expecting a stack like that, but Sangal currently have both of the AWPs. Oh, someone disconnected.
Yes. Who lost this time? Not Samey. It is xFloud.
Yeah, there was 2 AWPs and xFloud. Oh, I guess it was, I don't know. There is still an AWP apparently. But
Yeah,
I don't think there is.
I think the bottom youngster is youngster.
Yeah. No, but he died.
Oh. And then maybe there isn't one? This is all very confusing. It must be that way because he's on 55 HP and obviously we're not in a round. Yes. Well, we'll wait and see. Mr. X5 returns, how this shakes up. But, yeah, sAw surely feeling a lot better than they did at Anubis at this point in time.
It's definitely looking like, well, there's actually just, in general, there's just competition, which wasn't there before.
When am I going to get my fill of U-Jerks? I haven't seen him yet. When am I going to get my daily dose?
Yeah, he was really, like, quite far at the bottom on map 1. That was a big experience. That was a big shock. He definitely could be, I think, the big defying factor for sAw. MUTiRiS of all people has been the one that stepped up so far. It's probably the one player you didn't think would be.
I mean, you'd expect it to be U-Jerks, a Rosdos and Story, kind of. Particularly U-Jerks and a Rosdos leading the way, but that has not been the case. We're chaining a timeout here, so I wonder if Sangal running dry on their tech pauses.
Oh, that wouldn't be
a shame if that was the case. Yeah, they might. There's actually, I could see an argument that they're going to get in trouble here because they've also delayed the start of the game. So,
ooh, there
is a limit. We can't pause forever. Hopefully not too much longer. Of course, to let you guys know at home if we have any updates. At the moment, we know what you know, which is
it's not live.
Not much. Although if Twitch chat is to be believed, they are ever knowing. They know everything. They've never been wrong, in fact.
Twitch chat are very, very on it. You posed the question to me last map, Mr. Hender. Sangal, their meteoric rise here in the ESL Challenger League. I said youngster was kind of a surprise for me. Do you have anyone you can point to?
The calling department, which I believe is LNZ. So I think that, I mean, he's still a very young player. He's reasonably experienced, but it's a different kettle of fish and he has to lead a team. So I think just seeing him take up that mantle, seeing Sangal call a lot of good Counter-Strike to win last season, all of this was very compelling. And I think Sangal won last season as a team. I mean, the individuals were great, but they also played some excellent Counter-Strike along the way. So, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed what I saw in the calling department.
Yeah, I think it's interesting seeing how many actual leaders there are coming out of Sweden that are quite prolific in the tier 2, tier 1.5 scene. Like, obviously, ZTR has been signed to Gamer Legion. And LNZ, where it's like, yeah, like, he's young, but he has got a fair bit of experience with NIP, Young Ninjas. And I think Sangal was a big chance, is still a big chance for him to prove himself, as he may have been a bit of a brunt of criticism while on NIP. So he's taken that certainly in his stride, and ESL Challenger alone is very impressive winning that. Very impressive. And, you know, you're adding some other results in of tier 2 tournaments that you're winning. I think that adds it even further. So Sangal, enough of our yapping. They're back on the server. No AWP was saved. Crisis averted. We found our answer. They've all got A1Ss for this next gun round.
Very nice. No AWP though. And actually no kit, which is curious. Youngster could have sacked the head armor for that one. U-Jerks, though, announces himself for falling foul to the spam, but the T should still take this. I mean, you're going to spread out that CT side, string them across the map to cover off all ports are cool. So I'm still feeling pretty good about sAw at the moment.
Yeah, the only world I see for failure is if MUTiRiS gets picked off here, and if they go down towards B and LNZ wins it out. Roman's in a pretty important position where he can't die, but if he's able to cut off these rotations, it could be the difference maker. I think MUTiRiS very unnecessary. His expedition outside, LNZ in a very good position here. 2 players right in front of him. He sees their heads first. No one's even looking at him. That's round over. Whoa, that was great from sAw at first, and then it went tumbling down very quickly.
Linus, you saucy boy. That was good. I enjoyed that. And they did exactly what you asked of them. In sequential? Sequential? Who knows? Sequence. Should know these things. I did a maths degree. That was a while ago. Different time. Different era. I, of course, make very good use of that degree right now.
I've made great use of my 1 year at university. Ooh, xFloud. If he had checked outside, MUTiRiS could have been a dead man. I like this a lot. MUTiRiS wrapping around in main as the attention's being taken actually on the bomb side. Yep, there you go. He opens up the frags, but Youngster LNZ there holding true. Trades going back and forth, but Sangal always were in the driver's seat there. And that's a play you see Karrigan doing a lot. You tend to see the IGLs getting up in that main smoke. But there, it's not even MUTiRiS that does badly. It's players coming out onto the bomb site.
Credit to Youngster. Couple big kills. sAw. Maybe they expected some outer aggression. Maybe they expected less players in her. That wasn't the case. They just... After they lost the initial engagements, there was just so many players to overcome at a deficit, of course, as sAw lost their numbers. So that did not play out. No plant either. So... I'm looking at a heavy investment here. A few D boys. Apart from that, not much to scream about.
A few less now. Many less now. sAw is just shooting fish in a barrel. Oh, he's got 4 kills. That's definitely one way to warm up into this map. We were kind of calling upon Story a little bit. Notably because he was Arcadia player to watch, but just in general, like, just had to do better as a player that is quite prominent on sAw. And then you throw the duality and his opposition, the guy man marking him, sAw on his AWP, was great. Very confident on map 1, and you can see that confidence is still brewing here. Those ecos definitely bolstered his frags, but you take that and you go even further with it now.
I believe back in the day, Mythbusters tried to shoot a fish in a barrel. I guess it was a fake fish. And it's in fact quite difficult.
Yeah,
if the barrel is big.
Water does notoriously slow down everything.
Yes, that also. So, who knows? Maybe it's harder than it seems.
Oh, never thought about it.
I aim to inform.
Everything has history and a reason to the sayings. Like raining cats and dogs is because I love this because it's so weird. Raining cats and dogs comes from when London had no sewer system, and in the morning there would be a lot of bodies on the floor. It looked like it was raining cats and dogs. There you go, a bit morbid.
That is upsetting.
Yeah.
I don't like this. I want to go back to my safe space. And my safe space could be ramp. Because there's nobody here, apart from Mr. Jossa.
Roman's also made his way down vent. I think loudly. I would have assumed he's been heard. There was a player around main. But you're wrong. Youngster's also on ramp. And I think sAw, they... Ooh. They're... Oh, yep, they haven't heard him. Roman, no trigger discipline. Doesn't need to, though. That's in itself a massive frag to be taking. sAw had all the control in the world, and now Sangal have to rethink themselves, because if sAw go towards ramp now, it is actually just one player, because LNZ... No, sorry, Jota's gone down towards B with a bit of a scare. He did, like, Roman's around, Roman's on the prowl. But Youngster, up close and personal. Ooh, he had that. He had that one in the bag. fluffs his lines. xCloud, his rotation, not going to reward anything. And Jota hasn't been cleared. What? Roman opened the door, but Jota's only good for the first. Isolation is the name of the game for sAw right now. They, one by one, executed Sangal's players.
It's good stuff. Good stuff. That first kill did so much. So much to just make it awkward, didn't they? Obviously, the play getting down the vent and in behind. Sammy just... The CTs were so flustered, they're rotating everywhere because they don't know what's exposed. So, maybe a lapse of communication. Allowing that player down the vent unsighted. Of course, had Sammy known that was a possibility, I don't think he stays red crate. So
Hell no.
Unlucky, brother. Still though, cash in the bank. We're buying again for Sangal. A good opportunity now to right the wrong. We're going to get an A explosion. Sammy is gone. A youngster not long for this world either. Obviously, last time we saw an aggressive A hit, it didn't pan out. This time, though, much better. Clean take. Round over. 5 for sAw.
You've jinxed it. This is when Jota kills everyone on the bomb site. And then MUTiRiS is too far away to do anything. Oh, never mind. Round's over. Bit of an interesting one there, that xCloud's very much committed to the save, and xCloud was still pestering those site players. But no, as you said, yeah, the A offensive, much better than previous. And even though Sangal have felt like they've had the lead here on the CT side, sAw have been hot on their heels constantly, and it's looking like we could be seeing a 6-6 half on the basis that Sangal are broke, man.
Well, they're going to buy, obviously, in this round. Last of the half. Let's see what they can muster. xCloud could drop a rifle, but he'll obviously be very low on nades. I'm not sure there's a better move, indeed. M4 dispatched. Youngster says, I'll have the auto shotty. Trades it out. That's not allowed.
Boring.
Where's the fun in that?
Where is the fun in that? I do love a good auto shotgun. MP9 is so mundane. Everyone uses it. sAw, though, this should be 6. And that's a very good T-half. 6-6 on Nuke is really quite good. And even though Sangal have done good work to claim lobby there, sAw already in a position to react outside. Like, this is very easy for them. They have played this round quite well, and U-Jerks, well, you were waiting to get your dose of U-Jerks. There you go. Sammy annihilated, obliterated out of this server when he was most certainly favored to win that duel, and Story in a good position, catch one off, Molotov down, and I feel like it's going to be a gentleman's agreement that LNZ and Story won't face each other just yet.
Well, this is cooked for Sangal. Youngster says, I'm going on lobby roof to look for clues. LNZ, dead. 5 on 2. Pair of MP9s. Make it 5 on 1. It's going to be 6 indeed for sAw. A bit of a rocky half, but as mentioned, given the way that first map went, this feels like quite a recovery. Even Stevens, a much more competitive game as we head into the second half.
I opened up this map saying if you're a Portuguese fan, you probably weren't having the best of fun over on Anubis. Well, guess what? This is a lot more like it. 6 rounds on the T side of Nuke after a troubling start is very promising. Now, can they replicate it on the CT side?
Lots of util here for Sangal. Feels like an inner pop is going to come soon. LNZ by the silo at the moment, but he can molly top of hut. Very slow pistol round. It's been a slow map, hasn't it? Nothing like the pace of Anubis. And here we go. Nays dispersed. Problem is, Roman here is a menace. That second kill is brutal. It's savage. It's unfair. It's not allowed. I don't like it. I don't want to see that again. Good chance now for sAw to clean up this pistol.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to go in that way. xFloud, though, an opportunity for one on Roman, and he will take that opportunity. Bomb is down on that B bomb site. If a Rojdos can be found in main, all the timing, that's brutal. LNZ thinks that his teammates cleared it, but he's been told a ruse. I know, is it sweet rice in Portuguese as a Rojdos? And that's very sweet for him.
Succulent. That's for sure. Okay. Well held. Sangal never really getting into their execute. I don't know if the plan was to then die with numbers, but it's kind of round cooked by that point anyway. And, yeah. Dish best served sweet. They're made of rice, it seems. That time, this one's an eco. Not much to note.
Yeah, that was a, both T-side pistols have been very tumultuous. I think it's fair to say. Both been concerning to watch. sAw's just was a lot more clean. And now, just on the pistols, this should be very easy. As I say that, Roman gets obliterated, because why not? I've seen a lot of Glock kills in the past few days. Like, I don't know what's going on, but I've seen people be crispy with Glocks that I have with them being on rifles.
What would be weird like that? Let's stop giving this Glock kills. Okay. There's a clean up. Right. 2-round lead. Not going to be massive money in the bank, given they've lost a couple guns there for the Portuguese squad, but obviously they'll be content with their lead at the moment. Eyes on Sangal. Nuke is up there in their map pool. It's not a bad map. And now they need to muster some of the Nuke heroics we saw last season. Did they play Nuke against sAw?
Yeah, sAw beat them quite well on Nuke. And then it was Vertigo as a decider. This time it's Ancient, if I believe. And Sangal did very well on Vertigo. So sAw making sure that third map is maybe a little bit better for them. Ancient, well, I guess FaZe took them to overtime because sAw had like a 9-3 half and then didn't do very well in London. But you jerks, you said you want to see some of his magic. This is a weird one. xFloud is right next to him. How is Youngster the first player to die in that round? How is UJerks got away? xFloud has sold his teammate and can't even get the revenge. How in God's name has UJerks survived that?
Well, this round's a non-starter. And maybe we won't find out how UJerks indeed escaped the jaws of death. Can he do so again? Maybe. Another collected. Effort. That probably seals the deal. Information 2. Site not heavily defended. Okay. Guess that's how that works. Orpa gone. LNZ finds another. Not like this. Not like this. Rojdos finally brings some semblance of normality back to this round. One left to find, and now he spotted a Rojdos. Second peek, he finds the kill. Still, though, That got a little bit too much. Too much. That got scary.
I mean, LNZ
I got the
and
heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, that was... I think if LNZ in Vent had just kept out his rifle and not thrown that flashbang, he probably would be able to react to a Rojdos a lot better. But look, Story missing that up shot is... That is quite brutal. Those are shots you just simply should not be missing. He was holding for kind of like a swing out single. Instead, he just got peeked in the door. But sAw, look, like they win the first gun round. And even though it did get very close at the end, the lead up to that 2 versus 2 was very clean. And now they're 3 rounds up. Question now, EWJerks, a good round the previous. Over towards ramp, he's going to get tested, it appears, by all 4 players remaining for Sangal.
This round's not going anywhere. Obviously not the strongest investment from Sangal. But if they could keep the money low, that would be great. But they do not. It's 4 alive. 10 for sAw. They're on the defense. They're on the stronger side. They've had a good run of it. Approaching the end of that first half and now obviously going into the second half. It's looking like Ancient to me.
I would agree with you. Story, that was a really nice round from him. Sure, it's against pistols, but it's just really good rotation. He gets the pick outside and is instantly ready to react before the play even comes in. He reads it very well. And it's not even EWJerks that wins it out. It's Story that gets the big multi-triple. So, redemption a little bit in that round for Story. Probably could have been under wraps anyways because of EWJerks. But Story just makes it a hell of a lot easier. That is unfortunate of a youngster. That's both gun rounds now that he has been the first to die very early on, and I wouldn't even say it's his fault. Through a smoke or being killed at a pack behind a pack of players, he's had a very rough T side.
This is not the start Sangal wanted to this round. It's these gun rounds now that are kind of must-wins to stabilize this game. EWJerks will not be denied here on ramp. Finds another. It's crumbling. And sAw are spooling up. They are indeed a very different team to the one that lost on map number 1. That wasn't a map. It was a whitewash. It was a Sangal superlative smackdown for the ages. This time, not the case. 11-6. The Porty boys, the Portugal boys, looking good.
I understood why you were saying at the beginning, like, look, Sangal, it's not game over yet, but this T side has just been nothing. Like, sure, it got close in the first gun round, but it was never really going to go their way, and the reason why it got close is just because of a 2v5 getting a few picks. It's been very decisive from sAw. They've been playing very well. We've had everyone doing their role, it seems, and you look at you just take a look at the scoreboard and it's pretty aligned for sAw. Every single one is having a good performance. Same can be said for Sangal, but unfortunately they're 5 rounds down and they have chosen to force buy into round 18 to try and avoid that fight for overtime, to try and vie for an end in regulation. I think it will be ended in regulation, just not for them.
Okay, Roman. Where did those 2 kills come from? Straight through the squeaky door. Spelled in the end, but this round might already be too much to recover. LNZ needs to find another frag. xCloud's doing work, but look where the bomb is. It's all the way back towards lobby. EWJerks is holding. 12-6 now. Another non-starter for Sangal. You're right. This T side. This is not one for the annals. This is one for the bin at the moment.
Yeah, it's definitely one that you want to forgets. I think Youngster was also killed in that Roman spray down, so he has had such a tricky T-side in the sense that, like, I don't even think it's his fault. He has just been very unlucky, and that's kind of where you get that eye test of like, oh, he's 11-4, he's having a bad game. He hasn't even had a chance. Like, he's been shut down, and sAw have been playing very well. Now, aggression over on that A-bomb site. Once again, it's Youngster attempting to lead the charge, but unsuccessful. Jota, that's a bit of flair, a bit of brownie points for me. Nice drop-off with the MAC-10, but that's literally the only thing Sangal will get in this round. Their attempt of an A-rush is futile, and sAw claim a very dominant second map. Both teams winning their map pick in basically non-starters. Ancient is going to be our decider.
That was a heck of a second half. That was a cracking CT side from...
They're thinking like, damn, maybe I actually could have got international sooner. So when I first went to sAw, I was just thinking like, oh, that's a bit of a bold, like that's gone completely the other way of like, you are unconfident in your English and then bam, you're now coaching a Portuguese team.
It's interesting. I mean, it's not inconceivable that sAw are thinking in the long term they could make an international switch. But obviously that's a long way ahead. Let's focus on the here and now. Third map here in the group stage of ESL Challenger League Season 48. Early games at the moment. And the winner of this will be in a great position. Looking ahead to later on. What just happened? What just happened? What just happened? Arosdos goes nuclear. Was that all headshots as well?
I think that was all headshots, and yeah, Arosdos, you just choked Sangal, you choked the life out of them. He did that on Nuke as well. I think he has like 7 kills in pistol rounds on dual Berettas across 2 maps. That's fantastic. He had like 2 bullets left and he plucks the final member out of the sky. Sangal, they have no idea what's hit them. X-Cloud's brought a bloody Negev.
Okay. I think he sold that one. I hope he has.
Yeah, he has.
That would be very upsetting if he retained that one. Wow, I'm still reeling because I couldn't believe what I was seeing in front of my eyes. I was thinking, oh, he's going to get traded, and he just didn't die. Just kept going. Did Mr. Arosdos...
bomb down.
Yeah, that's actually quite a surprise, isn't it? Not a bad result, given 0 investment. Okay. At least it ensures a good buy in the next for Sangal.
That was... Oof, that was something. That really was a electric start for Arosdos. Sangal have got 1 kill entering round 3. It's not the best of starts. Youngster continuing his unfortunate form on 0 ADR. He had a very rough end to Nuke, and I don't think it was his fault. He just got really unlucky a lot of times, and this is a brutal taking of middle from Sangal. Blind, blown up, and somehow, I was gonna say they come away with an even 4 versus 4, but Ujux blows open the smoke and lines them up for 2. He had a very slow start into this series, but on Nuke he showed us what he can do, and right there, he's put the tides right in favor of sAw.
I was never nervous for prediction.
Oh,
never.
Really? Yeah. Sure you were, yeah.
Certainly feeling a lot better about it now. Okay.
That's the first.
That's a zinger. MUTiRiS knows the Youngster was in and around this lane. Untucks. He's waiting for his teammate. Yeah, Story's nearby. There's no need here to overstay the mark. It's a very tough position for Sangal to move forwards. Util's making it all the more difficult. Smoke, though, buys them an avenue. Ujux peeks, doesn't win. That was unusual. Ujux normally wins out, but MUTiRiS for the clean up. 3-0. A swimming start for sAw.
Yeah, okay. It got scary for a moment, but that round pretty much from start to finish was really good. Sangal tried to brute force out middle, and it just simply does not go in any way their favor. I'm surprised they even had that 4 versus 4, and it did take MUTiRiS to actually have some sort of heroics. But yeah, Sangal back down now to a lower purchase. Still, good utility, Tech 9s and armors, and they're just going to go try pop onto this B-bomb site. Have they not learnt their lessons?
Shot connect, seconds does not. Third is good. Rings true. Here comes MUTiRiS. Flashes behind, helping 2.
Okay.
And only the 1 kill. 4 for Story. Arcadia player to watch. Looking good. It was just a half by, wasn't it? But, yeah. Still will take that. Money in the bank as well. Perfect start.
A perfect start indeed. We're seeing multi-frags galore. We've got...
What are they on now? They're on a 10-round win streak, aren't they, on CT?
Oh, yeah, they would be, wouldn't they?
Because it was 6-all, yeah.
Yeah, they won all 6 in the... Well, 7. It'd be a 11-round win streak.
Even better.
Even better. And it's going to probably go even further. LNZ's on 3 HP. Roman's already plucked 1 in lane. And look at this from sAw. Look at this crunch. MUTiRiS is now going to take capitalization of the fact that Roman has got all the attention. Somehow Youngster has found a kill on Roman there in cave, walking through a smoke. But I think this success is very similar to the first gun round, where we saw Youngster get a nice little zinger, but ultimately just going to trail off for nothing.
This round never got going.
No. Similar to the last 12.
Yeah. It's not a fun story. It's not a fairy tale. It's a nightmare. That's for sure. Sangal, they also I remember on Nuke they used their second pause when they had almost lost the game. And they can't afford to let this game slip in the same direction before taking those timeouts, having a breather, quick discussions. We're not far from this being maybe not quite insurmountable, but a tremendous uphill battle if they let much more slip.
Yeah, I think the 5-0 doesn't look that bad on the face of it, obviously. But I think it's just like you take into consideration how well this has been going early doors, and another round here where 10 seconds in, a 2-man advantage, and Sangal have 0 map control. All 3 players in and around A main. They're gonna go reroute, and well, I'd put money on the fact this is gonna be a 6th for sAw. But in the meantime, while we're progressing our way towards B, 2 other games have gone to a 3rd map. Gun 5 took TSM to map 3. Brazilushki Luz, Brazilian Cool, took Rush B to a 3rd. And the A stream is still going 8-8 on map 2, with 3D Max obviously winning map 1 in overtime. Yeah. Oh.
No, we panic. It's okay. It's okay. A little bit of shenanigans. But
Tomfoolery.
no love lost. And it is indeed 6 for sAw. Yeah, we'd like to see some sort of change here for Sangal. Nothing's really worked. I mean, it's been mainly the defaults that have just been shredded. Obviously fallen foul to a lot of plays in and around Jaguar and that B lane. So I wonder if they're going to maybe change the pace a bit slower. For now, though, just looks like a pretty standard default. 2 in towards mid. 3 towards the B side. Damage exchange. Jod is very low already. But maybe consolation that they've actually got the control this time without losing any bodies. Just as I say that.
Just as you say it. A very aggressive pick from Story, and sAw just not even letting Sangal set up. Like, look at where Sammy died. He's despawned pretty much. Outside of B, look, you do have some nice space by xFloud in middle, but he's currently being very acutely held for. Story, nice rotation from B to middle, and unless Story's been given a very good reason, he's gonna stay. He's gonna stay still. Youngster, what? He just shoots randomly, and I think it might force Story to molly Red Room, and now trying to, as a last-ditch effort, run in. What? In Donut, MUTiRiS has run out of bullets. They were all in front of him. They had their back turned. How has MUTiRiS only got one? And how has a Rosdos got nothing? Even though Sangal are all tantalizingly low, this is winnable, and made even more so by the fact Jota has ripped Roman's head off. You jerks, he has to step up. He connects the flashbang, but he hits Youngster and Sangal. Like, how have they won that round?
Question science can't answer. Yeah. I'm a little bit flummoxed by what I've just seen. Roman also runs into Temple there, and he's like, there's no way they could have crossed. And then there's just a player on his bottom right. Yeah, probably didn't see him at all, full freed or whatever. Right view model, couldn't see the player. Yeah, I don't really have a great explanation for what just happened there. Maybe just a bit over-eager. I mean, if sAw sit back and play the crossfires a bit better, they surely win the round.
Look, that round was perfect. MUTiRiS and a Rosdos just really whiff in Donut. Like, there's no real two ways around that. Sangal make a very last-ditch effort, just like, oh, I guess we're gonna go run through the smoke, and I just genuinely don't know how MUTiRiS only gets one kill there. He shoots everybody twice. But that can be damaging to your spirits, but to Story, it's most certainly not. Pretty much identical kills 2 rounds in a row towards the B-bomb site, and look at this, he's already in middle. He's already here to fight. And he might need to get some good damage off because Youngster is hitting some very crispy shots. The A-bomb site currently has no defenders. U-jerks, a nice rotation, puts it to a 2 versus 2, but overswings, and maybe could have just waited for Roman to play that 2 versus 2, but instead, it is now this man on your screen left to clutch up. This is perfect. Walks through the smoke. Samey, none the wiser. Youngster opened up this round in middle, made it plausible, had an opportunity there, misses it, and confirms that he is in Donut. A tap of the bomb, there's no kit. Roman confirms he's off it, and Youngster is just playing with his food right now. And a lovely play completes the 1 versus 1 and the 4K.
Big recovery. Big kills. And actually, sAw are starting to run out of money already. I'm a bit surprised by that. Been a brutal pair of rounds for Sangal to win, but they'll take them. Timeout as sAw discuss. What is the move from here? I mean, the buy needs to get figured out too. MUTiRiS' money is not ideal. He'll be on an MP9, I guess, at best. I'm not totally sure what you discuss here as sAw, because I'm not sure their overall game plan is wrong or bad.
No?
I like the way they've approached this Ancient. I don't think they should change much. Maybe just a quick... Maybe it's quite possible the Berries heard, the comms are a bit flustered in the last couple rounds. So just, calm down, guys. Communicate what you see, what you hear. Of course, yeah, maybe... having said that, how well does he know what's being said?
I think the comms just are a little bit flustered in general, because like I've heard Portuguese comms, they do get very loud, and right now I think Story, his mouth's about to move like a motor, flashed in front of him. Now that's quite a nice pop flash, and he cannot escape. Sangal erupt onto the bomb side. Somehow Rostov's got 2 with the MP9. MUTiRiS unable to recreate the heroics of his teammate, and U-jerks and Roman might be contemplating the save, and now I think Roman's definitely gonna save.
That's a response. Change your pace. Joe defining frags. We take that. Take that from Mr. Jota. Very nice. sAw are out of cash. Roman needs to keep this M4 going if they want anything to work within the following. Looks like he probably will. And, whatever sAw discussed didn't come to fruition. Maybe blindsided by the change of pace, I'm not sure. But, yeah. Sangal are quickly getting themselves back into this game.
This has been Sangal finding some quite scrappy rounds and now turning it into like a little bit more consistency. We saw a little bit of this on Nuke, kind of just the flip side of like Sangal had a great start and then sAw came back into it and ultimately won the map. So for Sangal here, they're slow start, but look, like if they get a 5-7 or even 6-6 half, like they're both very fine. And right now, against this eco, there was the saved A1S from Roman. He instantly gets dropped at the start of the round. Every crisis is now diverted.
It's looking good. Yep, U-Jug's gone. That's it for B. Kind of round their way up. It will be full for Sangal. Even the buy in the next actually won't be perfect for sAw, so could be tricky for them to get any more out of this CT side. As Sangal play themselves back into contention, it's looking really scary. 3-4 rounds ago. That tune has changed. Youngster, Jota, doing the lion's share of the work, of course.
Okay, a slow burner to end off this round. I just want to see, I honestly want to see from Sangal just like a clean default. Because the only round they've won that was clean was just a pop towards A, where sure it was a nice setup, but like, you know, it wasn't really a default. Also, saved A1S. Wait, what? Did MUTiRiS picked up the kit and smoke off Roman's dead body, but not the A1S?
I don't... I don't understand. Interesting. Maybe the gun was blown away? Or shot away?
Yeah, that's kind of my thought process there. If there was a little nice micro Tito for Sangal, just making sure that can't use it. But Sangal, ooh, X-Floud. Unfortunate in that attempt in middle, but softening a Rosdos down, allowing for Sangal to approach from shelf and finish off what he started. LNZ walking through that smoke, lackadaisically unaware of U-Jerks, bomb dropped. Youngster ahead of this utility on lane, but Jota in the meantime has been blown to smithereens. Youngster spotted, but it comes at the cost of U-Jerks' life. Roman, ooh, the spam. Anything that hits Youngster will kill him. Walking through smokes like ships passing each other in the night. It's so tense, it's so close, but it's Youngster claiming the 1 versus 2. Huh?
I guess I got the money that it doesn't really matter. Okay. Interesting. A big round, though. Very big round. Huge clutch. And that was looking really awkward when the bomb was dropped out in the open and you got 2 players aggressive from that CT side. But it's happening, man. 5 now for Sangal. The buy isn't good for sAw. And they're going back to the tried and true fast A round. That is the call. Arozdos on location. Story, though, finds the first kill. And this smoke making it awkward, really, for both teams. Right now, those frags are going the way of sAw. MUTiRiS finds 2. Just LNZ. sAw are going to pick up the final round, surely. This first half, LNZ looking around, can't find anybody. 7 in the end. Good start. Plateau in the middle, but 1 in the end. 7 for sAw, 6 to go. Can they get this done in the second half?
It's been a long day for Sangal. They played a grueling best of 3, and that's the reason why we were a little bit delayed coming into this matchup. Now, nearing on, I think, Alan, you said 6 hours of Counter-Strike potentially.
Must be.
CS is going to get a little bit funky from here, but they have hung on that first half. sAw were very close, just running away with it. And with Youngster specifically clutching, opening up rounds, it's made it a lot more plausible. But that final round was a little bit hit and go. sAw dominated. It's given them the lead going onto their T side. Now, this pistol round, this could just send them upwards.
Yes, you're good to find it. Nothing yet, though. Flash through with util down. Jota gets a fight. Roman wins. No committal, though. Still mid under pressure. There's 2 here in Donut for the defense, so sAw would be ill-advised to continue dueling this position. In the meanwhile, though, B is enveloped. Oh, my lord. all the frags found. Two also killed in Donut with no reprisal. It will be a pistol round for sAw.
That's worrying for the Sangal troops. That is worrying indeed. A pistol round for sAw, for me, is very much the beginning of the end. 8-5. Let's say they're going to go 9-5. They win that gun round, and I think that could just be it. So sAw getting their revenge, potentially. It's looking like that way. We're getting their revenge on Sangal for knocking them out in the last season of ESL Challenger. After Sangal had a meteoric rise through the lower bracket. 7, I think, best of 3s in a row, or 6, something crazy like that, against multiple top 30 teams. But Sangal, actually, they're going for a force buy. Issue is, if this goes wrong, sAw are then on double digits for free.
They made their bed. Time to sleep in it. Very passive setup as well for the defense. Mid fully given. They're also lacking information, so you can see how these players on the back lines on B are having to cover off the CT wrap. Same equally as having to juggle connector. This feels ever so awkward, and the util obviously pretty lacking. It's just the sole smoke left on xFile. That's now been dispersed. They put it behind Youngster as he walks through. Does he get a timing? Not yet, Roman. Oh, no connection. No connection. That could have been their best route into this round, but I don't see this. I don't see this, especially now Samy's been cleared. Good cleanup.
That is a rough round where just nothing went in favor of Sangal. So they're going to be getting 9, and then I would assume they then get a 10th. They get a 10th due to just playing as an eco, and then you look at having 1 gun round, and sAw have probably just finished it off. That's gonna be hard, and for someone like Youngster, he put a tweet out saying last time they beat sAw, that 1 year ago, he was demo reviewing sAw to learn how to improve his gameplay, and then he beat them then. Unfortunately, though, he's not going to be as lucky this time, as it seems like sAw will be taking this one.
Okay. Well, I guess the really disappointing part is if you're going to force, at least do some damage. They didn't really take many guns off sAw, so...
Did they take any?
They got one kill. Not ideal. Especially if sAw can clean up this round with numbers alive. Story. Ace stolen. Why are you doing this, Roman? That's not fair. That is not camaraderie.
Gotta give it to them, you know? Gotta take those aces where you can get. In the meantime, as we're coming to the close of our best of 3, streams just about to go to a 3rd. They've had quite a long... Wolfie and Dean have quite a long day. An overtime, a 10-13, and now a 3rd map, so...
I'm pretty sure ours yesterday was longer.
Ours was...
That's what I'm saying. It's not a measuring contest, but mine was longer.
Mine was longer. And guess what? A Rosdos, he's no longer in this round. That's a start. Sangal, like, okay, I may be looking at this quite bleakly for them, but they are not out of this just yet. Like, a gun round here straight away changes everything. It puts them back into a position of just being, having some sort of contestability, and xFile's doing very well. 2 kills, a dink, but that nade, that couldn't have been placed any better. Bolts him right on the head. However, throughout all this confusion, LNZ activates on shelf, and is Roman lurking around on that B bomb site, all left by himself.
The only thing that matters now for Roman is damage. Can't find it. 4 alive. That is a nice round from Sangal. xFile as well. He's had a very troublesome game. Had a good round himself. And obviously, to mount a recovery like this, we're going to need the individuals to be brilliant. X-Cloud is obviously one of those. Jota, another player. Samey now he's on the defense with the big green. We expect to see more. I will say I like this pause from sAw. Before the game even gets close, before the game, even goes into jeopardy, take a pause, discuss. What are we going to do? What's the move? How do we adjust?
Yeah.
Take your time.
Oh, sorry. I know we've kind of spoken, like, about Barry and his involvement, but I would just love to know, like, basically what is he doing right now? Like, he's got the mic potentially. Is he being vocal, or is it MUTiRiS who's taking the majority of the lead? What is Barry's involvement throughout all of this? I guess we won't know, but I think we can go on to the fact that this is when Barry does speak. It's his opportunity to get on that mic. And sAw, right out of the gates with a bit of aggression towards middle and shelf. Very aggressively. They've basically got this space for free, and it's been no double from the Turkish X-Cloud this round. But it's LNZ. Wow, that is unfortunate. LNZ goes for a spam and then gets one right back into his dome. A double opener for sAw now.
I'm upset for Sangal at the moment. Oh my. Oh my. You jerks. There's a lot of jokes I can make right now, but none of them are family friendly. That was... that was beautiful.
It's a bit lucky. That round, he basically only saw one person and gets 3 kills. It's probably one of the easier 3 Ks of his life, but still a nice spray control. You can give him that. And Samey, he's not had maybe the game and the performance we would have wanted. And he is being hunted. They know exactly where he is. There's blood in the water, and sure, he does get 2, but Sangal are very happy to commit 2 bodies where they can very much reinvest to take away that AWP, which unless Simi wants to go glass cannon, he will not have in potentially their final gun round.
I think they need to buy Sangal. I don't think saving's an option here. There's just too many rounds to run back. Samey might also be regretting not playing more passive there and just trying to save the gun at all costs. Okay, pause is in. Samey still yet to buy. Of course, the glass is an option, but if this goes to a retake, he's not going to be effective. Yeah. Goes with the rifle instead. You jerks, man. What a round. Just annihilates.
Sangal win a round. We start to have a sliver of hope, because it's like, oh, there's only 4 rounds between them. No. There isn't. You jerks. I feel bad for LNC. That's a rough one. And also, did you see Rozdos's off angle in A main as well? Like, that's just gotta hurt a little bit. Like, you're the A main player, you're thinking, okay, they've pushed mid, they've got a shelf, let's try to take some space on A main, and a Rozdos is sitting in a ratty corner, catches you off guard, and now Sangal fighting with their backs against the wall to see if they can win 7 in a row to secure it in regulation. Oh no. He's been team flashed. He got team flashed. He got team flashed.
That's a disaster. Well, in an all-important round where Sangal, weaponry-wise, couldn't muster the best. Now they've got a couple of AKs off the ground. This was sAw's best chance to keep this map clean, I think, to win this round.
Oh, man.
There's actually a case to save here, I think. Oh, they need a miracle. They need mistakes from Sangal. Nobody presenting. Look how passive they are. They are very much not eager to give over any simple duels to the sAw squad.
Oh, Alan, if I'm Roman, I'm far from happy. I'm very actively unhappy with that. I'm pretty sure that was a team flash with how Ujuk swung out as well, and I don't think Sangal would have thrown a flash in that in that instance either.
Yeah.
Roman literally had them both in front of him and then just couldn't do anything. That would have been the game as well.
Yep. I mean, civil wars often the bane of the Romans.
Now that
That's
is a
what we saw.
bar.
I'm here a week.
You're here a week. I, ironically, am the one who studied classics, and you still beat me to it.
Yeah, deal with it.
Yeah, I get it. You went to Warwick.
But I normally, when I cast with Mike, Mike did study classics, and I think did he study? His brother definitely did, because Mike would just rattle off like you know, Homer poems or something, or just
Homer
whatever,
poems.
or like you know, Greek mythology or Roman mythology or whatever.
Bit of Cicerus.
It all comes out.
I haven't quite got to the stage in my career where I'm just rattling off like Greek poems or Roman poems or much philosophy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'd say it comes with experience, but it's not quite that. It's you just learn to say what you like and deal with the ramifications later. That's the secret.
I feel like you can get pretty neat with. That's kind of like almost like the Jackie slam poetry style of casting.
Maybe. I mean, normally it's a wordplay on one of the names. I'm gonna go that route. Nobody's dropped, have they? No.
I wonder what would have happened. I've shared this
sure it
anecdote a
was.
few times. The best ever technical pause reason I've ever seen is it was Cypher, I think, while he was into the breach, and it was just like, wait, sorry, dog has peed on carpet.
Oh. Did you see that endpoint veto once?
Oh.
You know what I'm on about?
Wasn't it when like the child did the veto by
Yeah,
accident?
so it was me and Mike casting Endpoint were playing, and for those that don't know, I used to coach Endpoint, so I'm quite familiar with how they'd approach a veto and what their map pool is. This wasn't that long after I stopped coaching them either. And then we're just in the veto screen. The maps are coming up, and like Endpoint had banned their favorite map, not banned their permaban. Their permaban was the favorite map of their opponents, which was Nuke. So they ended up banning their own first pick and then having their permaban picked into them as the first map.
Was it
I messaged
Rajin's son?
Yeah, I messaged Max saying, "Why have you done this?" And he said, "I don't want to talk about it." And then I had a message from Regin, now coach of TSM, formerly Mouse, Endpoint at that time, saying, "My kid hit the keyboard and completely ruined the veto." ESL has, I don't know if they still use it, but at the time they have a tool to do vetoes in. So it's like a web page you open up and then you click ban this, pick this. And it is much easier to make that mistake with that system.
Imagine him coming onto TeamSpeak afterwards and be like, right, so you know how we don't play this map? So, anyways, how about we do play it now?
I think they're playing a good team. It might have been Team Spirit. It was somebody really good. And they ended up just playing Nuke and it was a disaster. I enjoyed it.
I do
Peak
remember this.
entertainment.
Yeah, I actively remember this. And I just like actively remember seeing on Twitter just being like, this, I just don't believe this is true.
I think it was. I can't believe we're still paused.
I can't either.
Let's play some Counter Strikes. We don't have any updates, unfortunately, boys and girls at home. We are out of the know. It looks like
Oh, there we go.
we're having
Bye-bye.
some Turkish connection problems. That's what I surmise.
You are a bit of a detective, aren't you, Alan?
I am.
Have you had
why-
any, speaking about your time at Endpoint, did you ever have any of those kind of like, I don't know, just funny coaching anecdotes about maybe an odd veto or something going awry during an official?
I remember when Boros first joined, his English was really rough. So a lot of stuff he said, it didn't sound like, it just sounded like something completely different. So like he'd call something and then like he'd call like, you know, he was trying to say like Molly B and he said it as fire. But when he slurred it with his accent, it sounded like 4B. so he's just seen a Molly on B and he's calling 4Bs, like we're rotating, and then like, you know, there's literally like the whole enemy team is just stood in mid as fraggers. Stuff like that happened quite a lot. Oh, what else?
That's funny.
There was one time where Crucial just stopped diffusing.
Oh.
I think it was on map point. And he just stopped with diffusing. And then we lost. I think we lost the map. It was an absolute disaster.
God, Joey,
God.
man.
What else happened? There was one time. I mean, technically, this is cheating what I did, but we were playing on LAN. This is when I was coaching university. And then it was on train. And we were CT side, the bomb was down B, and we retook the site. We had like 4 players alive. And then just nobody was defusing. Like they literally forgotten to defuse. So I shouted quite loud, knowing that my mic was muted, saying, "Defuse the F-word bomb." As loud as I could to make sure they heard it.
That happened actually at Epic last time, but there was no one to tell them. Regardless, though, sAw are going on to the B-bomb site. We're actually live. I was quite enjoying the Allen podcast, but right now we're enjoying Stories AWPing. That Molotov has bounced so weirdly and has allowed him to get another kill. A Rosdos almost succeeds on Samey, but I think LNZ would have traded him anyway. sAw, once again, losing another round, and Sangal closing the gap.
Game on, baby.
Game on.
Game on. It's going to be an eco as well, surely, for sAw. Seems story time is over.
In both regards.
Yeah. Actually, it is a Glock eco, so I could think of something else in a minute. There was one time where Mezzy won a 1-on-4. It was against MIBR. He won a 1-on-4. We were on map point on overpass. He won a 1-on-4 CT retake on A site overpass, and he didn't realize he had enough time to stick the bomb.
Oh no.
So we actually won the map in the end. It's not a super bad story, but the really funny part was after the game, we went and watched the Brazilian stream of that moment, and like the decibel meter is like snapping off. First of all, they can't believe that he's won the round. It was an unbelievable 1-on-4, and then literally like people like standing up, like this desk slamming and everything you can only imagine. I mean, they're quite a vitriolic bunch, and then they realise that they've actually won the round. It was absolutely legendary.
Oh man,
those are the days, man.
Have you seen the clip of the Brazilian caster? I think it's like a Brazilian game. And he gets like a jumping no-scope out of heaven on overpass, and the Brazilian caster just loses his mind, and it's one of the best clips I've ever seen in my life.
I have not. I mean, I don't know if you know this, but like in football, I guess if you called soccer in South America, it's like a famous trope that like the regional commentators just go absolutely berserk with everything.
I watched the Brazilian five-a-side, didn't understand like any word, and it was some of the best content. It's just people going berserk. I love it. I wish we had that in like UK, like the British broadcast of Counter-Strike, but unfortunately, we have to keep somewhat of a.
I didn't get hired for Epic Line. I don't know. They should bring me on to that.
You come to Epic. We'd have some great crack. You're too. Epic's a bit too big time for you, I think.
Let's not go full super hands with that one, but
no. Well,
that is a top tier reference for anybody that understood that. That is very British too. sAw, though, have a chance here to end the game. So I guess we should pay attention. MUTiRiS, important duel wins. Story, same time. Plucks the head. Oh, same with the towards Donut. Bombs going down. And Sangal already surely committing to the save. It will be 12 for Sangal. Sorry, sAw. I'm very sorry, Sangal fans. 12 for sAw. Not good for Sangal.
Not great at all. sAw, that was a very slow end. I guess the tentacle pause did not help. There was definitely a world where we see Sangal coming out of that that tentacle pause and winning, and sAw being just a little bit slow to the start. You know, it could have been done in regulation, but there's still a chance for overtime. Sangal have a very decent buy while they literally have everything. The AWP, they have the utility, they have the rifles. sAw, they haven't won it just yet, and their money is equally not great, so they probably only got another one gun round after this if they do lose. So Sangal, it's going to come down to sAw. He's been here before and sAw have flashed him off, but this time he will take that first contact, and they haven't hunted him down properly. There comes the flash. It's a little bit too late. Jugs, I love this boost. He can't catch sAw off guard, but still at least holds his life. A smoke needs to go down in either CT or Donut for allow them to actually like coordinate some sort of offensive, but no smoke needed, just the flashbangs. Two players in Donut still remain, both low HP. sAw with a 2-mana disadvantage. Jugs, though, he's on fire this map, but does not clear his corners effectively enough. And Story, a tall order where he cannot be the man for the job. sAw, 12 to 10. As I said, haven't won it just yet.
Tough buy decision for sAw. And they're going to buy 2 AKs. Util not perfect. It's pretty good, though. 5 smokes. This is still doable. This is absolutely doable for Sangal to take us the full distance and then some. Dare I say overtime. Got to clear this hurdle first. Mid taken. Smoke, though, dispersed. sAw with the opener. And I've got bad news. sAw committed almost all of their utility to take mid there. I don't know how you take a bomb site. You have to find kills on the entry because the CDs can just play deep lines if you don't find these kills. There they are.
Man.
2 found. Now it's possible. Jugs also recovers a smoke. Cannot disperse it, though, in time. Huge afterplant. MUTiRiS now. 1 on 3. Smoke is going to make it ever so awkward. Leaves him a gap, though. Finds a duel first collected. Surely not. Falls into the smoke to stay alive. Has the lineup. Oh, can't finish his food. That was an excellent try.
MUTiRiS was almost the protagonist of this story. That was antagonizingly close. sAw had realistically no right in actually making it this close that round. But MUTiRiS, god damn it, he makes it so... That should have been it. The entry as well, good use of their single bit of utility to get them onto that bomb site. Good trades. Bit meek from Sangal, but now sAw, that bomb plant, very lucky. The extra $600 is going to really work in their favor. Jota needs to be careful. Rostos has got the flashbang primed, but it's not Jota. It's MUTiRiS that has to be careful. He can't even get traded. Roman, unable to set anything in stone for his teammates. Jota, what's going on? He's a bat out of hell in this round. He's nailed 3, and overtime most certainly has been confirmed.
It's destiny at this point. Rostos, Jugs. Looking for 5. Jugs does find 1, but there's a hell of a lot more to come. He wants to win this round. An ace would be the only thing they can save sAw now. Surely doesn't expect the play from Temple. He does not. X-Cloud gets the silencer. 12 apiece. Sangal recover. And after 2 blowouts in map 1 and 2, I think we were due a close bout. Now we got it. Overtime.
10-5, 11-6. It was in favor of sAw. They've allowed Sangal to climb their way back up. Misfortune has struck the Portuguese. We were chilling, Alan. We having a bit of crack with this broadcast, and now it's got very serious. Now, Sangal, they're looking to replicate a bit of FaZe Clan. sAw thought they had it, but no, not today. They really seem to have a trouble in closing out Ancient.
Open already found. Sangal on a heater. They're looking good to me. Ancient was so important for them in their road to winning the previous season. This map got them over the line in many a series. It was often a third. They are no strangers to these parts. sAw finds a second. Does go down, but he's done his job. Information 2. Lurk coming through as well from 2 of the Sangal players. MUTiRiS is in the back lines. It's all about activating MUTiRiS, isn't it? That is the only route into this round. Shame the bomb's gone down.
Yeah, like, when MUTiRiS is in this position, you see it so many times, you're like, okay, well, your teammates can't die around you. Like, you have the time to wait and try and stabilize, but MUTiRiS, he can't even do anything. He's been spotted, it's a 1 versus 4. And Sangal claim the first round of overtime. This is the first time they've ever been in the lead. Yeah, first time ever in the lead on this map.
It's pretty nuts. They look good to me. I think they've warmed up. I think he started this game as a little bit lackluster. Obviously, I want to say it was a 6-0 start for sAw. So
it was indeed 6-0, 6-5, 7-5.
Yeah. So the mighty recovery since then. What have we got there in this round? Yeah. Where are they actually going, though? You can actually see LNZ's come out of Jag. It's pushed into mid. sAw, though, is a monster. He is insurmountable on this B side of the map. LNZ, though, gets a little bit overeager. He is plucked. And there's plenty of time here if sAw choose to reroute. My eyes, though, are drawn to the nades. Could be real tricky to take a bomb site.
Especially with not having a smoke to force sAw off. And I think it can also be just... You can never understate how important that 1 kill is for sAw. Because sAw were evidently looking to go towards B. And that 1 kill stops them. But LNZ dying does throw a spanner in the works. Remember, there's no smoke for Sangal. Only molos and flashes. But they also have their brawn. MUTiRiS opens this round back. Jota, blinded, but still succeeds. Regained vision and does not falter. Issue is, Sangal, they've all been called over towards that A-bomb side. Youngster and sAw now realizing their mistake with the Molotov coming down. Youngster lucky to be alive, and he's really playing with fate. It'll catch up with him. And with sAw forcing himself through the Molotov, I'm not sure if they've realized this, but Jota, how has he been able to consistently succeed? Story plucking him out the sky. AWP versus AWP, a tale as old as time, and it's the quick scope, the shotgun AWPing, and the 1 versus 2 that keeps the Portuguese alive.
This game is warming up. It is warming up. Oof. That was a brutal afterplant. What more could Jota have done? That was unbelievable, the way he was finding frags, winning duels, bringing Sangal to the precipice. They do not cross. 13 apiece. sAw, mind the round that eluded them in regulation. They can make this 2. A lot of faults could be forgiven. My lord, LNZ is really aggressive. And despite being blinded, UJokes with the pot shots finds the kill. There is a response. And of course with the smoke down. Oh, I guess it's gone now. Roman really didn't expect another player in that location. He thought he had a big gap, I guess.
I think he's taken that gap a few times. I seem to remember Roman getting himself onto that B bomb site. Youngster almost just died to a Molotov, but still is able to get a frag. Unfortunately, though, Story plucks away his teammate, who had the HP. We're in a 2 versus 2, and I'm not completely sure how we've gotten here, but seeing how Sammy is on the other extremity and Youngster's on 1 HP, you do not want him on the B bomb site, but they've evaded him. Who does this benefit?
I think Sangal, the flank is going to be so early. Off he goes. It's kind of a matter of timing, isn't it? Where are sAw looking?
Youngster play first.
His trap. MUTiRiS holds the angle. MUTiRiS wins. Oh, that's a kill. This could be possible. MUTiRiS, sweating bullets at this point, backs himself into the long side of those back lanes and wins out. Experience comes good. 14 for sAw. They're close. They're close to righting the wrongs.
Oh, that was crisp from MUTiRiS. And Youngster, like, you were correct with the quick flank, but then I think he took a little bit too long. Like, if he went straight away and was very fast with it, I think he would have been able to catch off MUTiRiS. But you can see there, MUTiRiS was eventually well equipped with holding the flank. And sAw, they reclaim the lead that they feel like they deserve. It's their lead, it's their map, it's their series, it's their time for revenge. And Sangal, potentially a last-ditch effort up this B-bomb site. Good trades from Jota. Smoke blocking Roman's vision. MUTiRiS trying to spam, trying to throw utility to aid Roman's exit out of cave. That's exactly what's going to happen. Roman bursting through. They have no idea what's just hit them. Jota, though, in this smoke in short, spammed. Roman is on a spree. The gladiator inside of him has been unleashed, and LNZ now in a 1 versus 3 finally shuts down the superpower. But unfortunately, it's sAw finding map and series points.
Big round from Roman. Are you not entertained? 15. And another pair of chances. Was it 12-9 in regulation?
Yes, it did.
That rings a bell, yeah. So 5 chances in total. The majority, of course, gun rounds. These two, of course, will both be gun rounds. It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity. I asked the question, when am I going to get my fill of you jerks? I have been inundated. I can't eat anymore.
Ooh, a Rosdos just does so much damage. We've got 10 seconds in the round and 3 players have been chipped down immensely. Oh, Roman, stop it. Luckily for Sangal, Samy's there to save the day, but sAw constant, unrelenting aggression. Sangal, 7 hours deep of Counter-Strike it must be for them now. Maybe even more in a row. 2 long series back to back, and I think potentially the exhaustion is getting to them. Not out of it just yet, because Jota, he has something to say about us, but you asked to see some of you jerks. You asked to see when we will get a piece of you jerks. There it is, exhibited on the server, and LNZ, the captain, the leader of Sangal, has to lead by example now. The bomb down in no man's land. 50 seconds left on the clock. And no one's actually holding for it for sAw. LNZ, he has an opportunity.
He will never expect you jerks. No chance. You jerk swings. Finishes his food. Quad kill for him in what has been a superlative map. Series goes the way of sAw, and of course, map 1 wasn't their best showing. But since then, they played some epic Counter-Strike. Well deserved. And I win my prediction. That's all that matters.
You win your prediction. We go 1 for 1 in